Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to bring a message for the chosen. If you find that this resonates with you in any way, please be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and let us know how it resonates with your circumstance. So, I have to tell you all about this dream that I had a couple of days ago. I've sat on this dream for a couple of days, just kind of dissecting it and speaking to my spiritual team about it, and they've sent me additional messages um, through a movie that actually I was guided to watch yesterday, but we'll talk about that. So, in this particular dream, I was outside with quite a few people, and we were boarding this huge black bus, okay? And I hadn't got on the bus. Myself and a few other people had not gotten on the bus yet. And so, out of nowhere, a bunch of Europeans came running up towards us, and they was actually chasing people and snatching them up, kidnapping people. And myself and a few other people who I was outside congregating with, we tried to run back towards the bus, and the bus pulled off. Like literally, it took off. And so I couldn't help but think, like, wow, was they a part of this? Was this, planned out? But we ended up running up this hill, and a couple of the people that was running with me, actually, they got snatched up. But myself and a couple of other women, we kept running. We ran as far as we could, as fast as we could, until they were out of sight. And we ended up at this water park. And the first thing we did was we jumped into the water and we started washing ourselves. Like we literally had soap and was taking a whole bath in the water park. And I just remember feeling like, wow, I'm just so relieved to be able to cleanse myself. And so we left the water park and ended up in a different area. It was like some sort of gathering that they was having. I don't know who it was, just people was having. At this point, we figured we was in the clear, we're safe. So we're kind of like in a celebratory energy. So we went into this party and everybody was drinking wine, listening to music, talking, socializing. And so myself and the women, we chose to drink grape juice. Now, obviously, you can't tell the difference between wine and grape juice unless you just looking that hard. But out of nowhere, a European woman, walks up to us and she says, "What are you drinking?" And I was like, "We're drinking grape juice." As soon as I said that, the music stopped, everybody got quiet, and they started staring at us like very angrily, like we had offended them. Next thing you know, we're on the chase again. So we're running down this corridor and we end up seeing a melanated older man. And he's like, come with me, I'll help you. So he leads us to this door. And as soon as the door opens, we see that on the other side, there's more people that's trying to attack us. So I automatically, my survival mode kicked in and I said, okay, I have to pretend that I'm going to go along with this situation. So I put myself in a very inferior position. I had my head held down and I was like, you're right. Because the older man, when he opened up the door and we saw that there was more people trying to come after us on the other side, he said, you might as well just listen to them and do what they say. So obviously he was working for the opposition. So I said, you're right. We need to listen. So myself and the women, we ended up walking back towards the people that was chasing us. And I said, we're going to work for you. Whatever you say, we'll do. So once we got close enough, it was an older white woman and some younger European women who was towards the end of the corridor. And she said, you're going to do what I say. Whatever I tell you to do, you're going to do what I say. And I said, yes, ma'am. Next thing I know, I picked up, I don't know what the hell it was, but it was a very hard, blunt object, and I unalived her. I hit her straight in the head, straight in the dome, y'all. Unalived her right then and there, and then I woke up. Now, if this is too gory for y'all, just, click off, whatever. So, what's interesting is that yesterday, I ended up being guided to this movie called Antebellum. Y'all should go and check out that movie because it was damn near the exact same scenario that I had dreamed a couple of days prior. So I'll just put that out there. Go check out the movie because I don't want to, do a spoiler alert. However, when I go back and analyze the dream, I realized that the parts that stood out the most was being amongst people and having to defend myself against other individuals who believed that they were superior, right? And being chased down to where I get to this amusement park, and the first thing that we choose to do is to cleanse our energy. So that's a definite recommendation to cleanse your energy. Take a salt bath. I strongly recommend it that you do it tonight if you can, or over the next couple of days. Take a salt bath. But we cleansed our energy. But when we got to the next part of the dream where they was having this party and there was a distinction between us drinking grape juice and them drinking wine, it was obviously something about that wine that, if you wasn't drinking it, then you wasn't down with the team. That meant that you were opposition to them. You was an enemy to whoever these people were, right? That's what the dream was showing me. And so that began this whole chase down all over again, just off the strength that we made a decision to do something different, to not drink from their wine or to not partake in their rituals. Okay. Some of you all understand where I'm going with this. Okay. The fact that we chose to not partake in it. And this was not even something in a dream. I was not consciously thinking, okay, I'm not going to drink their wine. No, we just chose to drink grape juice. But the fact that we had done that upset a lot of people. And they immediately became our enemies, leading us right back into the same position that we was in the beginning. But once we're running through this corridor and I see somebody that looks like me, thinking that he had the best intentions in mind, he turned out to be an op. And so, of course, I had to take care of my business and I had to unalive the woman, which obviously put a lot of that stuff to rest because I woke up. But what it's showing me is that there will be some major shifts that's going to take place, y'all. And the movie Antebellum that was revealed to me is my spiritual team. They don't miss when it comes to giving me the answers that I need. Things are getting ready to shift drastically. And when you're talking about a whole system collapsing, a system that was built on kidnapping, criminal behavior, blood sacrifice, and things of that nature, and people, groups of people, if you looked a certain way, who benefited from that particular system, then once the collapse begins or once it happens, it's going to be very important to listen to your intuition and to be very careful who you congregate with. Because there's going to be a lot of pushback and there's going to be a lot of people, or let's just say there's going to be groups of people that's going to want the system to maintain itself. They're going to want to start fresh. They're going to want to repeat history in hopes that, okay, well, since there's chaos happening and I'm not ready to relinquish my position, I'm not ready to see melanated people in a position of power again, let me go ahead and, start up a whole nother movement. I just really feel that it's going to be a lot of changes that's happening. And obviously this is not to create any fear. I'm not here to, bring any fear to people, but I just want you to be clear about who your friends are and who your enemies are. And it's not really about whether or not they look like you, because even the melanated older man, I'm thinking that he had our best interests in mind when in fact he was leading us right back to the devil, right back to, danger. So you want to be really, really clear about the positions that people stand on, because when people tell you, they're going to tell you who they are. And it's very important for you to believe them the first time. You got people out here, when this system begins to collapse, you're going to have people who are going to be pro, government. Regardless of the color, they're going to be, very, very chaotic in their energy, not understanding why the system has to come down. So they're going to fight tooth and nail to try to keep it going, even if it means turning against those who are ready for a change in order to maintain a particular system because somehow they benefited from it. Or somehow they was, they drunk of the wine and now they're so drunk that they're not in their sober mind to understand the difference between righteousness and unrighteousness. You see what I'm saying? And so the drinking of the wine versus the drinking of the grape juice it represents sobriety versus a lack of sobriety. We chose to remain sober. The people who was at the party, they chose to drink. And obviously, I'm not saying it's anything wrong with drinking wine. Of course, everything in moderation. But I'm saying in a spiritual sense, it's saying that there will be people who will congregate together under a non-sober mindset. They're all drunken and they're all inebriated. They're not fully functioning. They don't see things clearly. And there's going to be a strong opposition or a pushback towards those who are sober-minded, who do see things clearly, and who have made a decision to not join with them in their drunkenness. You see what I'm saying? And so it's very, very important to know what side of the fence you're walking on here, okay? Because there is a clear border that is being created between those who are gung-ho on maintaining this system that was built on the kidnapping of our ancestors, and there will be those who are like, no, I see it for what it is. I'm sober-minded. I'm not fooling with this. I see it for what it is. And you might have to put some folks in their place. Now, I'm hoping that it doesn't get to the point where you got to unalive any Karens or any Billies. I'm hoping that it doesn't have to get to that place. But with that being said, I do recognize that there are massive changes that are happening and there's going to be pushback. So it is a matter of understanding what team people are playing on and believing them the first time when they tell you who they are. So if you have anything to add to this message, please be sure to leave it in the comments below. Like and subscribe. That's what I got for you all, and I'll talk to y'all next time.